Today I'm going to be rating my college experience, which is something that I've never done before. I'm sure this will be interesting. In this video, I am going to rate my college experience based off of 5 categories. I'm going to rate my experience on my social life, my living sitch, my academics, money and finances, and the hobbies that I was able/unable to do in college. There is so much that goes on during your 4 years in college. If I made a video on my entire college experience, it would literally take 25 years to do. There was just so much that happened. In this video, I'm hoping to kind of give you a quick rundown on how I felt about college and kind of reflect on what went on. Before I get into it, make sure to like and subscribe because I love making content for you and I can make more content if you subscribe. So the first thing on my list is my social life. And this is a little bit wonky because I went into college right as COVID started. Because of this, I would rate my social life probably a solid 2 out of 5 stars. And I know that's being kind of harsh. The way it started and the problems that kind of like happened in between, I feel like it justifies my rating. In 2020, I was friends with the wrong group of people. I was hanging out with this like really toxic boyfriend at the time, and our values just completely did not align. And I know this is harsh, but he did not have like any ambition. He did not care about wanting to do well in school. That was one of the most difficult things for me. I also would hang out with his other friends who also didn't really care about school, didn't care about working towards their goals or improving, and it was just a recipe for disaster. During my second year, I met my absolute best friends who I still keep in touch with today. We are really close, although we kind of live far away. Did that rhyme? I don't know, whatever. I literally love my girlfriends so much. We were all somewhat similar in what we like to do. We were that chill group of nerdy girls who would always put school first and everything else came after. And for me, because I was in such a rigorous program, that was a perfect type of community for me. And then during the later parts of college, I got into a little bit of drama. My ex-boyfriend, who shall not be named, was like spreading rumors about me. And it was just not a cool situation. So that's why I would give my social life kind of like a 2 out of 5 stars, just because of all of the rocky bumps. So that was kind of my social life in a nutshell. The next thing I want to talk about is my living situation, and I have to give it a 4.5 stars out of 5 because I loved living alone at college in a dorm. It was refreshing to just kind of come home and have a little bit of silence. I did have a roommate during my time in college, and that was a bad mistake. It did not end well. There was this girl who I'd been friends with in college. She was trying to kind of like solve our indifferences, but the way she did it wasn't conducive for me. She ended up giving me a roommate contract and a list of things that I was doing wrong. Please do not do this to your roommate. They will cry. There were a lot of weird rules that we could not compromise on, like my coffee addiction. She did not like when I would brew coffee in the morning or when I would have friends over. She didn't want me to talk to her friends while they were in our room. Anyway, that was a long story, soon to be forgotten. My dorm that I lived in was one of the only places on campus that had an air conditioning unit inside the room, and it was literally so perfect. I'll put pictures of my room if I can find them, but it was just the ideal situation. The room was kind of small, but it was super cute, had a lot of windows, and it made me so happy just decorating for different holidays. The next thing on my list is academic. My experience at college in terms of academics was pretty good. I would say it was maybe like a 3.5 out of 5 stars because I was able to get a really good education. I've learned a lot of skills, but I feel like there was things that were kind of like lacking in their programs. Some of the professors were a little questionable, which I'll get into in a minute. I was part of this wonderful research group and we were researching neurodegenerative diseases. I worked there for about 3 years. It was like a high complexity lab, but it was so cool because I would work and present my research at a bunch of different science conferences, which was my favorite thing to do. It would happen like every April. We would go to Philadelphia and present, and that just like, I don't know, I loved it so much. The reason why I didn't give, you know, this category a 5 out of 5 was because I had some really weird professors during my last year of college. There was this one professor who did not like me, and because of that, it was reflected on my grade. And I tried talking to her. I almost had to like appeal for my grade because she was giving me such low scores for no apparent reason. If you disagree with a professor's grade on a project, advocate for yourself because grading is so subjective. They don't really talk about this too much, but there's kind of like a power dynamic with professors, and if you notice that a professor is abusing their power or giving you a grade that doesn't make sense, speak up about it. Don't let that happen. Next, in terms of money and finances, that's an interesting one. So during college, I was fortunate enough to have my mom give me money during some semesters. However, I did pick up a couple of jobs during college. I had a ton of on-campus jobs, which I really loved. And I also worked at a diner a little bit during my time in college. It's kind of sucky because in college you should have enough money to enjoy yourself and do the things that you like, but it gets to a point where you have to kind of monitor your expenses so that you're not, you know, buying things just because. For me, that was kind of difficult because I love shopping. I really prioritize the things that matter to me, i.e. food. So I would go out, a coffee shop with my friends, something to kind of like keep me motivated and happy. I would give it probably like a 4 to 5 stars just because I wouldn't say that I was a broke college student, but I definitely could say that I was working every second that I wasn't studying. I was either at my on-campus job or I was working at a diner. The last thing that I have is my hobbies. I would give this a 2 out of 5 stars because in college, because I had so many on-campus jobs and so many extracurriculars, I did not have a lot of time for myself. If I were to go back in time, I would not do the things that I did. I would try and give myself a little bit more free time because your time in college is what matters most. How you spend it, who you spend it with, that is the probably most important thing that you can do. I was constantly working. I loved everything that I did, but I feel like it was burning me out a little bit too much. I feel like I kind of had a wake-up call during my 3rd year of college because I was so busy, caught up doing all of these extracurriculars where I wasn't having enough time to work out during the day, and I started not only gaining weight, but I started feeling physically worse. That is all I have for you. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you next time.